indeed. The safe lane Jug, get that battle. On the off lane for General. The Ditcherard Jug. This is us rounded up. Do you have a side that you'd favor down to the hero picks?
The picks, I don't really favor either team. Obviously, Navi are going to be pressured in the early game to make stuff happen. Like, Jug is great in the laning phase with spin. Artstyle is going to have to make some decent rotations, and General's blink timing is also going to be crucial for their success. Alliance just have a great late game transition. Like, Empowered Lifestealer, Empowered Bristleback, their laning phase is really powerful. Durable heroes, ability to farm as well. They have good wave clear. It's just very well-rounded. So for me, Navi are the aggressors here, and Alliance are just trying to make sure that their lanes don't make it to that mid lane.
Let's do this nice and quickly.
Prepare for battle.
Up to 2. So again, kills. It's going to be not messy. First blood will happen very early on. Come on, it's Navi versus Alliance, ladies and gentlemen. Roshan kills. We're going to go with 3. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Navi versus Alliance game 1 now underway. Let's get ourselves in and familiarize with the teams and their picks so you get ready to root along for your favorite side and favorite player at home. On the side of Navi, we're going to be having General on the off-lane bat. Mid lane, Dendi on his signature Invoker, and down on the safe lane, Seneko supporting on Disruptor. Artstyle roaming around the map on his Enchantress, and of course Ditcherard playing the safe lane Juggernaut. Over on the side of Alliance, S4 on his Magnus Bulldog, bringing it in the Bristleback. EGM going to be clobbering some Navi with the Ogre Magi. And let's not forget Ake over on his Kotal. And last but not least, Loader. The Loader Lifestealer. Something that in the past memes have been made of. Recently, Lifestealer is an incredibly relevant hero, and Loader, he's a bit of a master on it.
It's something that he's played for God knows how long. Back when Lifestealer used to be OP and Open Wounds had like a 600 or 700 cast range at level 1. That's back when I started seeing him play that hero, and that was years ago.
Fight.
So as you mentioned, something that is definitely within his realm of heroes. But looking at the lanes, kind of what we were expecting, it is going to be the duel off. They're going to send Ake down here with Bulldog, and it's not an easy lane to play against. Even as a Juggernaut, you're going to have to get a really early stick. You need to be concerned all the time about eating blasts and quill sprays, just to overall harass. Looks like we're having a couple more headset issues. We had one of them the other day too, but more often than not, we've been pretty fortunate not to have too many technical issues arise. So.
Yeah, which is impressive as well, because we've got, 4 games going on?
Yeah.
Everything.
There's 8.
Everything is happening here.
There's 8 team rooms.
Yeah.
Obviously 2 for each match, and then we've had very limited issues, so we've been relatively fortunate.
Yeah, and of course worth noting as well, a lot of crazy games going on this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know what else is at your availability today, not that you want to go anywhere else, this is Navi Alliance. We know you're going to stick right here, but just in case you want to open up another window, you got OG Wings going on, TNC versus LGD, and what's the 4th game, Andy?
I don't actually...
EG versus Cinder. That's it. EG versus Escape Gaming is the other option. So here we have it. This is the match that counts, Navi Alliance. Ready, General, starting to just get the creeps away from the top lane. Bring them out away from EGM and Loader. He's like, I'll take these creeps around. He's just looking to balance the creep wave out, making sure they're not going to do it underneath the tower. Mid lane, Denti versus S4. Invoker versus the Magnus matchup. How do we expect to see this one go down?
I mean, eventually S4 is going to get a handful of levels. He'll be able to shockwave spam. You can see he's already skilled to level 1 in power, so he's going to have bonus damage. It's not a matchup that the Invoker just straight up crushes, but he will stay ahead.
Of course, last but not least, this bottom lane. As you said, this potentially very potent combination of the Bristleback and the Keeper of the Light. I mean, how much issue is this going to cause for Ditcherard? Or do you expect to see the Jug still being able to farm relatively well with the backup of Seneco's Disruptor?
He should be able to get some farms still. It's not an ideal lane. You can see, like, Bulldog's even trying to zone them away from the side shot because he knows that Ditcherard wants to buy a stick. In this lane against Bristle, like, he's positioning himself so aggressively to prevent them from getting to that shot, make him use the courier, take it away from the mid player, just any sort of advantage you can get. But in overall lane, I don't think that Ditcherard will ever die, but he might be pressured in his farm.
No.
And is there a way that you kind of tailor your build to this aggression if you're the Jug? Do we see earlier points being maxed out on the healing ward?
Yeah, he'll probably have to get ward.
Yeah.
But he did make it to the side shot. Marcel came down here and bullied him out of lane, so now they're going to have their magic sticks available. And that's more or less the thing that hurts Bristleback the most, because he might be able to do a bit of damage. And speaking of damage, General, in this top lane.
EGM and Loader trying to go for a hit, General. He gets himself off the map, and now moving back in potentially. There's a fair few stacks up on the members of Alliance, GM and Loader. But General indeed himself a little bit too low to play around too much. Comes back in for an ignite.
Bottom lane, Bulldog.
Okay, they've trapped him out. Darkdog comes in with a rotation. Didger up late, brings the face of the Bristleback, and there we have First Blood. The Navi. They punish the Bristleback thanks to an excellent rotation from Artstyle coming into the lane, which certainly was seeming to be the hardest for Navi in this early game.
Now, those are perfect creeps as well. He had a troll and he had a centaur. So as soon as the glimpse comes in, you get ensnared, then you get centaur stomped, and on top of it, then you're just dead. And that's why we were saying during the draft, it might be better to just put Juggernaut in the safe lane instead of going mid, because it offers you that kind of damage to where you can kill a Bristleback, because normally he's just too tanky to deal with. But now with the addition of having that spin damage in the early game, you can just go for him, no problem.
Of course, losing lives on this bottom lane is something that Alliance don't want to be doing. 11 for 1 on Bulldog compared to the 8 for 4. He's still got the edge over Gerard, but can't afford to be giving kills across to the carry of Navi. Generally, he's backed away from the top lane, level 2 now. So just got some of the stacks in the jungle, played a little bit safer. As we saw, it's can be a little bit up on that top if EGM and Loader decide to make a move in on the Batrider. And Artstyle, he's ready to keep the ball rolling. He's looking for another bit of action. Smoked up with the Centaur and the Troll Summoner. Looking to wrap around mid lane, see if he gets round from the high ground behind S4. S4 far down the lane at the moment.
They're going to try to force a skewer out of S4, but the problem is the timing is not as good for the rune spawning. So instead of S4 like taking damage from Dendy, like a cold snap or whatever, and forcing a skewer, he just walks to the rune. So maybe a bit of a poorly timed rotation there, but they will be able to at least get some damage.
I'll talk on EGM. Cold's not being used on S4. There'll be a glimpse back on S4, but he skewers out. Now, with General's presence as well, they should be able to find the EGM kill. Using the Firefly to run him down. Navi find themselves a second. They don't get the kill on S4, but they do still get a kill nonetheless. And Navi, at this point in the game, just making a lot happen. And Artstyle, of course, as expected, doing his wonders and making the magic on the Enchantress.
Yeah, he's got the 100% kill contribution, but that's what you're looking for. At this point in the game, he like his foot off the gas and he decides to go back for either the Dragon Lance or the Midas and starts to farm a bit more. And Navi kind of loved that early game aggression into, okay, we have map control, now we're going to farm a bit and make sure that the Enchantress can still carry us in the late game just by sheer damage output. So it's typical Navi things.
And Navi do need to continue to make that happen, because if you do look at the two carries, Ditcherard versus Loader, it's not close at all.
Okay.
There we go, Navi. They've found themselves another freebie indeed, as Ake caught out on the entrance to the jungle. Top lane Loader going in onto General. The Fire Force should be able to play around this, but looking Loader again. 36 for 8 compared to Ditcherard 20 for 4. Obviously, because of the pressure the Lions have been applying to this Juggernaut, it is allowing Loader to get far ahead in terms of farm. One of them, but a glimpse of the Bulldogs. Saneko and Ditcherard moving in. Artstyle's coming across as well to have a trap. Bulldog will try and buy himself some time. Duke it down in the jungle, but Dendy's Sunstrike is there, and Dendy will get himself the kill.
I'm actually surprised Bulldog wasn't carrying a TP there. Like, he bought one before he died.
Oh, yeah. This is not your half of the map, sir.
He is in there.
And he is out of there just as quickly. Navi dealing with the Ogre.
Okay, I'm super confused as to why he was there.
Haste!
I mean, maybe he wanted to try to snipe the courier, but it's a flying courier. It's like 6 minutes in. I don't know what's going on here for Alliance in the early game. I mean, at the very least, they're farming well on their cores, right?
They really are. I mean, that is the saving grace at the moment for them. You look at the difference between S4 and Dendy, and then you look at the difference as well between Ditcherard and Loader, and it certainly is there.
You can always look to the Empower during the mid-game to relevant. Obviously, he's going to have an infest target in S4. You get the RP, get a couple of nice kills. Lightstealer is obviously pretty good against Enchantress. They counter each other in some regards, but if you can get on the edge as a Lightstealer, you can just shred her.
Talking about the edge as well, 6 minutes in, he's going for the straight naked Midas.
Well, he's had a really good early game, so there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
You know that Alliance's high ground's not necessarily going to be super easy to break because they have really good wave clear and they have the mag, obviously, with the RP to worry about. So it's not a bad choice to just go for the Midas, get your levels up real early, get some health, and get another item on top of that, like obviously the Dragon Lance and Drill.
Oh, and Ake being controlled by Sineko. A Thunder Strike could have glimpsed into a Blade Fury, but be more than enough to bring down the man on his pony. And top lane, General. Let's see if Alliance can get themselves on the board. Oh, 3 HP, yeah, they've got burn damage from EGM's Ignite will be enough, so Alliance able to claim kill. But again, it's still 6 for 1 for Navi, as they're certainly getting more blood from the Swedes than the Swedes are able to from themselves.
Just going to have to rely on the double dagger from the mag. I mean, fortunately, S4, he's doing extremely well in his lane. He's even out-CSing Dendi. A lot of that, of course, due to the fact that Dendi was walking around a bit trying to get a couple of kills. And he is actually 3-0 right now, so that more than makes up for the CS differential between these two. And there's the under 8-minute Midas for him as well. So double Midas now for Navi. S4 is still getting closer and closer to that blink dagger. Once it's out, I think that they probably just go straight away. Like they need to make something happen.
Absolutely, very close. Close indeed. I mean, with that blink dagger as well, do you then need to bring Loader with him? Or do you think they'll leave Loader in this lane to continue to fight?
I think you definitely need to bring a lane stealer.
Yeah.
Because he's the easiest hero to combo with your right? I mean, sure, you can blink in and do the turn RP and skewer back, which is one of the hallmarks of a mag player, but you really do need the damage at this point. That's what they're lacking. Because Bristleback does damage over time, and Ogre does damage over time because he's only skilling Ignite. And lining up a Cobble Blast is going to be relatively difficult, so your best person to bring with is usually the Light Stealer.
Dire's bottom tower needs some help.
At the same time, of course, well, when this blink dagger is going to be there for S4, you just look at some of the supports Navi like Snake. Probably about the same time he will have the Static Storm online, so Navi will have the tools to react to a jump in from S4. And Sneko, of course, so far, he's been absolutely on top of his game. 1-0-4, involved in 5 of the 6 kills. Got to be aware of the presence of the Disruptor, because he'll be very, very quick to react to a jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's one of those guys who just always seems to be in the right place at the right time. When he played IO at Starlight, and you were just like, this guy's everywhere. No matter what sport he's playing, it's a similar feeling. So kind of in the same boat as you thinking that his Storm placement is probably going to be on point. But again, Lion, they're holding on. They're leading in terms of overall CS. And have that wombo combo, you know, that X factor where it's like at any stage in the game, we get one good RP, one good skewer, we can just blow up Navi's lineup. That's just what they offer with their heroes. So, still waiting to see what S was able to do with his blink dagger.
On mid lane, AGM, he's been caught out by Sineko. He's found himself another catch. Oh, S4 though, reacting with a 2-man army into the the blast from the Illuminate takes one down. They'll take a second as Loader turns up. And that is exactly what Navi have to be careful about.
That RP was so close to not hitting either hero. I swear if you watch the replay, that thing was like 10 range away from missing, but he got close. That is absolutely ridiculous, just understanding the limits of RP so well. I mean, there's a reason why the hero is actually named after it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Perfect stuff there for Alliance. So they're finding kills in return, and still, just look at Loader. He's 80 CS at 10 minutes in.
Dude, he's owning.
See how that translates to net worth, and indeed it does put him comfortably at the top. Yeah, no amount of kills from Navi are going to be able to push them up ahead of the Lifestealer at the moment. Navi will continue to look to make action happen. General hasn't yet to finish off his own blink dagger. He's very close to it, so really can't afford to lose his life. But eyes on to Bulldog, that limps him back into the lasso. I'll start huddling in with the impetus, and the pure damage well from the Surge Strike is going to be enough. It looked like there was a chance for the Aces to get the deny on him. That isn't the case. Navi do get the kill. I'll start playing around with EGM at the same time. Bottom, Ditcheraz looking to take a tier 1. So no more blood will be shed. The tier 1 will fall. And Ake, he did get the deny.
That's actually kind of crazy that he gets a deny with 66 damage. Like, Ditcheraz hits for what, 110? He hits for like half that. Still gets a deny for the player.
guess
But the
Radiant
early game so
fortified
far,
their structures.
favoring Navi a bit, but we also talked about this. They're the ones who need to be making stuff happen. They need to be the ones going around, okay, we're getting kills with Sunstrike, Art Style is very active. You know, the Bat Rider is using his lasso. He's also 50 gold away from his own Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're going to start looking to and say, okay, now the aggression is going to get kicked up a notch.
See Ditchera hiding behind this dude with the Omni Slash. He's a sneaky juggernaut. Sitting behind a tree. Okay, did not expect that.
I mean, the thing that's really annoying about those kind of ganks, he actually had a ward. Like, the ward sees everything except that one tiny spot. And Ditchera's just like waiting in the sideline, just ready to go.
Oh dear. 9 for 3. Ditchera with these kills is still not quite on the same level as Loda. Loda's free farm has really been off the charts.
Yep.
As he, I guess, works towards Echo Saber on top of the phase arm that Blightstone. And he's going to be punching very hard, very early on. This Life Stealer when he turns to the fight. And Bulldog has been able to clear a significant amount of Ancients as well. They start helping catch up. Bottom lane going in onto EGM. Let's see if Lions want to react, or are they going to just let EGM die? S4 is hanging around, does have an RP. We'll see if he thinks about using it. You can see Lotus turned up. He's looking to chase down Seneko at the same time. General's got eyes on Bulldog. The lassos. But there we have the S4. Brings General back. They've already lost Kudala. Ditchera still hanging around. The blinding light from Maki will stop the punches. Isn't going to stop the Blaze Fury, but already General and Ditchera backing off. Lotus coming across. Open Wizard 4 seconds, but S4 jumps in. Takes down General on the Bat Rider. They will find a kill in return. It's going to be a TP out just in time by looks of it for Seneko as Loda came back across to him. There's still Navi. They're going to trade 2 for 1. Loda turn up, but just really can kind of get the lockdown onto anyone there.
It's just a very chaotic area to fight in. When it started off, they drop the Static Storm onto EGM. He's kind of stuck and just dies. And at that point, they're really looking to get any remnants of Navi that are still in the area. And I think what happened was Loda spent a lot of time chasing Seneko, but they have a ward on that high ground, so he knew exactly how much Loda was committing and was able to just stick around, get an extra glimpse off, prevent himself from dying, and still manage to TP away. So in reality, Navi was a bit of an outplay, glimpse.
And these glimpses from Seneko.
This time the Flame Break gonna knock him a bit too far, so.
Can't chase him down, but Seneko has been each and every time.
Well, they're playing very well around their vision. So they're playing around that area with the Ancients, but they have a ward. They got that glimpse, they had a ward up on the high ground as well. And that's the kind of synergy that you get when you have a Disruptor and a Bat Rider. The heroes just complement each other so well in regards to the vision that you get. It allows you to use your glimpse and get your lassos much more effectively.
Top lane, Dendi, a man who hasn't been present in these team fights. He's just using the space to put the pressure on, takes himself the tower. Catching up to the net worth of Loda, as we can see just only a few hundred behind. Bottom lane Alliance will look for a trade, putting the pressure on the tier 1 bottom. Then he's going to continue to move across the top lane. Ake will come across to start clearing out the waves and slowing down this push. He gets himself the tower. 2 big gold on top of the Ogre Club, so his next item will all be but done and he can start working even further into his build.
I wonder if he's not actually planning on making Echo, because he has the money
so much
for
money,
it.
yeah.
I wonder if he's going to go SNY instead. I mean, SNY is very good this game because the heroes on Navi don't have any natural escape. So you can just run at them. In the past, yeah, he does like his SNY.
He really does. So let's see if Alliance can stop this. I mean, Navi, it's not going to happen. Navi just take themselves a free tier 2. Alliance are coming across as a 5-man.
Dire's top tower is
Also the
under
ready.
attack.
See if they can actually catch any of Navi as Navi already start to retreat.
They just lost 2 towers and only traded it for 1. Not really the best movement so far from Alliance. Maybe they were just thinking that Navi might react to them instead. He should be fine. I mean, it's really hard to kill this hero.
It is. Navi, they are smoked up, hanging around. See if they can catch any stragglers from Alliance to come out alone. But Alliance keeping together as a team. And Navi realizing that they're back up. They're still a tier 1 to take mid. So they'll focus their attentions towards that.
I mean, the important thing to note here for Navi is they're still not feeling super comfortable in their position. Again, one good RP can still turn the game. So they're looking to just try to establish as much map control as they can to prevent that one-off combo from ever happening. Because if it does, you're losing pretty much every hero that's caught in that RP.
Snow fortified.
Alliance moving across. General is on the front lines at the moment. Loader will get himself nice and deep inside S4. Smoked up.
It's where everyone wants to be on.
Absolutely, especially when he's playing his Magnus. I'm going to go for the wraparound. See what they can find in the jungle of Navi. At the moment, I mean, Ditcherar is home, and they're actually going to make a movement towards
he is dead.
No messing around. RP into the Loader Wombo. Alliance quickly dispersed of the Juggernaut.
That wasn't even with the power. Like, that was just a regular RP.
And EGM gives it the old clap and TP. As Navi try and beat down in the mid lane, nothing to stop it. But Navi unable to find the kill in return, and indeed arrives with a big pick-off.
Yeah, this is the one thing that a lot of people forget about playing against the Mag is the carry that you're playing with just gets a free Battle Fury. And honestly, it's more cleave than a Battle Fury once you get the Empower to level 4
Someone better
or
have
3 and
fire.
4.
There's all just got a bit of a bait, and Alliance with the favourable trade, and Tier 1 down to mid lane as well.
Radiant's middle tower has
And this is why
fallen.
you watch the El Clasico, right? The Navi Alliance games, because they're always back and forth. It doesn't matter like what iteration of the team it is, it's always a close game. And this is no exception, so enjoying it so far. S4 with the favorable trade, like you mentioned, he didn't even RP regardless, so it's not like he was going to be able to contribute anything to his team fight in the next couple of seconds. And now Alliance eyes set up Roche. Just going to loop it up a little bit. They do have Crystal back, so it should die relatively fast.
So they can do anything about this fight. They've got a strike. They'll know what's up. But Roshan indeed falling far too quickly for Navi to react to an Alliance. They'll be able to blame themselves the Aegis. Loader puts it in his
Dyer's
pocket.
middle tower
They'll smoke
is
up
under
and make a
attack.
move towards mid. Can they get a kind of catch? RP is there, S4. Until he finds the opening he needs. Multicasted. Oh, for the high grass. Seneko comes down with me, Sunny Jim. EGM clear with the 1-2 Mongo. Seneko will try and glimpse back one, but he can't glimpse back the whole team. Alliance striking back hard as they pressure down the mid lane. May have seen them give up a tier 2 up top, but now it'll be them taking the tier 2 for Navi. No disruptor for this defense. And deal with it down with the Empower. This power's going to...
Navi are doing the right thing. They realize that fighting into Alliance's fight when you're not actually trying to defend a tier 3 is not the play. It's just too risky. You need better positioning. More staff's now done on General, so he can now get a hero and actually pull it inside of the base instead of having to worry about how he's going to escape after he blinks in initially. Because before, S4 was like, all right, I'm going to RP you instead under the tower so you can't run out. But that 4 staff is going to have huge implications for how aggressive Navi can play and their ability to find picks. But I'm trying to mention Navi's... They are trying to split push it up a bit, but Ditcheraz's farm, like even though his CS isn't really that far behind what Loda has, just the difference that it makes by having this map control and getting the team fight, getting Roshan, he's got like almost a full item in progression over the Juggernaut at this point in the game. So it's looking kind of scary. Navi adopting the split push game, there is still... I guess it's only really one initiation hero on Alliance, and that's S4. So they can probably split up the map for a while, buy some time, get Ditcheraz, his Yasha finished if he wants to go for the Manta Diffusal, if he wants to go for the Blink. But they need some items.
And at this point, I mean, is it a case of Navi wanting to wait for Alliance to come to them?
I think that...
You find into Aegis and a newly completed Desolator.
Yeah, if you see that they're split and you see them farming multiple lanes, then you absolutely try to go for it. And that's what General's looking for right now.
It looks like
Problem
Dyer
is, he's
fortified
another
their
hero.
structure.
And looks like Andy is going to be his partner in crime here.
as well. There we have onto Ichiro.
Dominating.
Jesus. There's just nothing. Like, if you get smoke RP'd, there's nothing you can do about it. You're just dead.
I even had an invis rune as well, though, Magnus.
Oh, that was an invis. It wasn't
There
smoke.
was no chance that he was getting spotted out.
Yeah, but the problem that Navi are running into is that even if an RP is hit on one hero, it's not like they can just go take a fight. They still have to wait for an opportunity. They have to wait for Alliance to show on the map and be split and use their wards to their advantage. But the issue is their ward coverage is all really around the river, whereas Alliance have a much more spread, aggressive type of vision. So that's kind of what you want when you know that you have the map control. And unfortunately for Navi, the vision that they have is only really telling them that Alliance are on their side of the map, but that's not enough. You know, they still can't take an engagement based off that
Radiant's bottom
information.
tower's got problems. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Indeed, Alliance take a tower. And the line has been drawn. They want to just finish out all of these outer towers first. Is the tier 2 next on the menu. Creepwave is beginning to push in. Dendy's the lone man up on the top lane at the moment. I'm sure they'll realize that Alliance is making a move over. No RP for S4. Still on cooldown. So unlikely that he himself could control Dendy up. He'll jump forward, clear out the wave, and start to get this push going on. As Navi are left to clear out the other lanes. Also big item pickup, of course, for the Keeper of the Light. 22 minutes in. Ake has his Aghanim Scepter complete.
Yeah, Addict's the quelling and the gem. So this is pretty much a stalker, if you want to think of it that way, because you can just de-ward everything. You get the vision. The thing about this hero in particular, once he has Aghanims, is his sustain is unparalleled. The Illuminate heals everyone that it hits. You have chakra, you can summon people back. This hero is like the epitome of sustained siege. That's what you want to do, no matter what. If you can hit the tower and get out okay, without getting like nestled into the well, you can just keep going forever, pretty much.
But as you said, Navi continue to do exactly what you mentioned earlier. They're playing the style with Ditchera consistently pushing out the bottom lane. Dendy keeps making an appearance up top. As Alliance are trooping up as 5, but you're going to see the strength of this push from Alliance. They take down the tier 3 and they get a Rax as well. Watch S4 has the RP available on the side if Navi jump in. Alliance into Ritual. We'll see how heavy they want to come back in with the next creep wave. They've got any big items coming out? What's on the courier? It is the Sanj completion for Bulldog, as he himself is starting to become a real bit of a beefy man. Vanguard, Mech, and Sanj.
I want to say he's going for Halberd for the Ench, because there is a Dragonlance and a 4-step on our style. So this is the point where Navi's lineup actually starts to become a tiny bit more scary, because you know you have that bonus attack range with Impetus. You're chunking the Lifestealer. Magic immunity doesn't help versus the damage he deals. So they need an item that's going to stop Art Style from just straight up hitting at all. We are going to see a smoke here. It was not scouted by the wards.
Let's see what kind of jump they can get now.
S4 is like the best target to go on, like bar none.
But look at the movement from Alliance immediately, keeping themselves out of harm's way. They head to the south. Loader's alone up top, but already he's brought over as well. So Alliance, they're back grouped up as 5, and Navi, it's going to be very hard to get the jump in that they need. Dendy leading the way at the moment. But Alliance, they will be ready to react. And Navi, realizing that they can't find out, and they'll just have to back up and push the waves out as Alliance are able to avoid the gank.
You know, actually, they might have seen, not necessarily that smoke, but they could have seen like the outer edge of the smoke, because the ward sees a little bit into the base. So there is actually a chance that Alliance saw that, but I mean, they just reacted so fast that it seems like they did see. You know what I mean? Like normally in like 10-15 seconds, maybe you don't see them for a while and they're like, oh, maybe they smoked, let's back up. They were just like, nope, we're back. There is the possibility that that second ward top did spot it, but Alliance still feeling in a fairly dominant position at this point, and he's actually not going Halberd. He's just going to DSLY. Interesting. I thought that he would go for the effective HP build and just have something to counter Art Style's item progression, but I guess they're just not worried about it because it is daytime. You can just sustain with Illuminate forever. Heals for like, what, 5 LP or something like that?
Oh, General, quick to jump, bringing Bulldog straight to the base. Alliance moving on top of the process to keep them alive. S4 does have that RP available. Looking on the stash on Bulldog, but Alliance is still alive in a sustain from Ake's Illuminate is too much. Impetus not going to be able to bring Bulldog down. S4 is just spamming out the empowers. He hasn't needed to RP yet, but Alliance, they're fine. The heals again from Ake. Alliance to stand their ground. Loader trying to move in, won't quite lock onto any hero. Turns back towards the barracks. Navi are slowing it down for the timing. Flips onto Loader. But just coming in, but again, the heal from Ake. Loader jumps in and out. Bulldog, and he's fine. They'll finish up the melee racks, get the range racks as well. The push is successful, and Navi just can't stop this power.
Lasso needs to guarantee it. That's how they stop the siege. And the problem is they went on, like, arguably the tankiest hero on the team. Maybe Frank Loda. And like you were mentioning, the Illuminator is keeping them way too healthy. There's and damage and Delta gets around this team as the Lasso the Navi selection.
Noah jumps in, but he's being multi-contest forward with the skewer forward. Control will play Fury trying to finish off EGM, but they're just so tanky. The sustain is too much. And Bulldog, he's just sitting on the front lines, hitting the racks. Now it looks towards Dendi. Navi being forced back into their base. As Alliance have all the space in the world to finish off another set of racks here. Two heroes down on Navi, and it's all very quickly falling apart. It's GG indeed, Alliance. There we have it, Evermore finishing his star with a 3-man RP, hitting them so hard that Janae goes DC. Oh wow. Navi, they had a strong start, but Alliance's draft, Loader's Lifestealer, got all the farm in the world at the start. We said at the beginning that this is a hero that he is